Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so today I took a trade today after waiting for so long. Right, throughout last week I traded only once because the market has been shoving, and I don't know, for some reason I've been scared to click on the buy and sell. I don't know why I've been scared, and today that I click on it, I lost money. But I'm not that pained. I'm not that pained because I know I will recover it back. I just don't know why. You know, I'm being scared for. I don't know. Yesterday I would have entered the trade, but those sudden I was just, I don't know, but it's part of trading. It's part of it. So today I took a loss today, right? I took a loss today. GBP I only trade GBP. Though it was a good trade, I anticipated it. As you can see on my Telegram channel, I sent it to. Okay, I sent it to my Telegram channel also. Sent it to my Telegram channel today. So it's also on my VIP. It's also on my VIP. Right, so I said buy GPU now, entry signal. As you can see, it was a good trade. But due to the fact that, as you can see, second entire us of this point, I say I said 15-minute break, aggressive break, a 15-minute aggressive break. Look right here. Enter from this point and put stop loss and below that. Yeah, this was my initial entry. But as you can see, the market stopped me out and moved to my take profit. But I was actually targeting this point as my take profit. It's the crucial point right there. As you can see, it actually took out the take profit. But we've gotten stopped out already. Right. So today I want to show you guys what I observed before I called out the signal. Now the first thing is market structure, right? Understanding the market structure. As I look at the market structure on the 1 hour time frame, and as you can see, we have been on a bearish trend for some while. We've been on a bearish trend for some while. Right, this we've been on a bearish trend for some while. We've gotten this break, and I think we have a little bit of pullback here. Then we have this little bit of pullback. Then we have this. Right, so we've got a break here, right there. Right, we got a break there, which signifies that this is a protected eye, right? PH protected eye. This is a protected eye. So if it gets broken, we are gonna be looking at the upside. And as you can see, we had the broke the upside, right? Then we have this retracement. I was trying to look for entry. Beneath this retracement right here. And so I was trying to look for entry because I knew this retracement was over. But so what do I use to look out for if I'm trying to look out for retracement? Like what are the things I look out for if I'm trying to enter, a position? The first thing I look out for is what liquidity pool or liquidity sweep on the 15 minutes. Now as you can see, sometimes I use the fair value gap. Most of the time I use the fair value gap as liquidity pool, and I use when market's creating a double top or something like that, all those kind of liquidity. But sometimes most of the times I use fair value gap. Right, so we have fair value gaps right here. We have the first candle, second candle, and the third candle right there. So the middle candle is usually what the liquidity point on the fair value gap, which is this point. Now, normally people would have said, "Oh, this got broken out," but no, it didn't get broken out. Right, what we had here was an aggressive liquidity pool, a break below to indulge traders to think this is a breakout so that they will go for a sell, or it is went up aggressively. So this is a liquidity sweep. Let's say liquidity sweep, and I thought the liquidity sweep was over, without knowing that it also had an intention to do another liquidity sweep. Right, so I've gotten this liquidity sweep confluence already. So what was I actually looking for? I was looking for a change of character or a break of structure on the 5 minute time frame. Right, I was looking for that on this time frame right there. I was looking for it on that point. And as you can see, then all of a sudden, market started becoming what choppy. Right, market started becoming choppy. Market started becoming choppy, and as you can see, it has the break, it has this, it has this, it has this, it has this. See, market has not accumulating. The market went up to do this and this, and as you can see, but the point I entered the market was when I had this break, this 16-minute break right there. Right, this was the aggressive break to the upside. Then what did I do? I entered for a buy immediately. Right, and I placed my stop loss in that point right there. Right, but it's quite unfortunate that, as you can see, I got stopped out and the market went to my anticipated take profit, which was there. Shows there. So I lost money. I lost money on trade, as you can see. I sent it to the Dragon NFX Trade Academy channel. See, stop loss 8. Been so careful with my entry and ended up hitting stop loss. Laugh out loud. And got stopped out and moved straight to profits, as you can see. Alright, so that is it for this video. I'll try to look for an entry on New York session, because this was a London session movement. And New York session just opened, was quite long, so all I'm looking for now. But this is a good movement. I love this movement. It's giving a strong bullish momentum. For example, 1, 2, 3 movements. That's a strong bullish movement, and as the market was bullish. So now I'm waiting for a good retracement to some certain level, and I'm going to be buying the market. Right, so the market so far has been what? Has been bullish. So I'm not interested in selling in a personally set trade. I'm not interested in what? Buys. Right, I'm interested in what? Buys. So what I'm going to do now for this is, okay, we've confirmed that this is a good structure. Right, so I'm going to wait for a liquidity sweep. And I know, like I said my liquidity sweep are mostly from fair value gaps and lots of liquidity points. And for example, this is a lot of liquidity points, for example. But before this area, we had 1, 2, 3. We had this liquidity sweep also here. Right, this kind of sweep is bullish liquidity. I close as a bullish candle. So this is also liquidity sweep here. So we have lots of liquidity the market has to, has to take before moving to the upside. Right, so I'm waiting for market support. I have a push to this point, to this point, but my confirmation will be a 5-minute break of structure or to the character. Then I'm going to continue the buy on GBPUSD to the upside. So that is for this video, and that is for the longer session that I traded. Hopefully I say I'm entry on next session. If I end up trading, I'm going to do a video and edit and send to this page. Right, so you guys, and kindly like, subscribe, and set on post notifications so you can get notified anytime I drop video just like this. See you guys in the next video.